Hello, dear friends. So today we're going to hear a story from the storybook collection, the second book. Today we're going to hear the last story. I hope you've enjoyed all these stories with me. So have you started reading books? If somebody doesn't know Aladdin, then you can hear my story. Even if you know Aladdin, here's some interesting facts about Aladdin. Princess Jasmine giggled at her pet tiger Raja as she sat by the fountain in the palace courtyard. The tiger had not been impressed with the latest prince to ask for Jasmine's hand in marriage, so she helped her scare him away. They were both glad to be rid of the selfish Surya, one of the many unworthy princes who she visited recently. Jasmine's father, the Sultan of Agrabah, was not amused. "Dearest, you've got to stop rejecting every suitor who comes to call," he told his daughter. "The law says you must get married to a prince by your next birthday. You've only got 3 more days." Jasmine thought for the law was not unfair. "Father, I hate being forced into this," she said. "If I do marry, I want it to be for love." Lately, she'd found herself wishing that she wasn't a princess at all. She'd never been allowed to go outside the palace walls. She felt trapped. That night, the princess decided to run away. She put on a disguise and began to climb over the palace wall. Raja tugged to her dress. She didn't want her to leave. Jasmine knew that she would miss her friend, but she had to see what else was out there. "I'm sorry, Raja, but I can't stay here. I have my life for me," she explained. Raja nodded and slid his head under Jasmine's foot to give her a boost over the wall. The next morning, Jasmine arrived at the marketplace. She looked around excitedly, for she had never seen anything like it. People were selling everything from pots to necklaces to fish to figs. As she walked, she came upon to a little boy who looked like he hadn't eaten for a while. "Oh, you must be hungry," Jasmine said. The boy looked up at her eagerly. She took an apple from a nearby stand and handed it to the poor child. "You'd better be able to pay for that," the apple seller said. "Pay?" Jasmine said with surprise. She never needed to pay for anything at the palace. "No one steals from my cart," the vendor bellowed and grabbed her angrily. Jasmine was frightened and didn't know what to do. Luckily, a handsome stranger came to her rescue. "Oh, thank you, kind sir," the young man said to the apple seller. "I am so glad you found her. I've been looking all over." Jasmine looked puzzled. "What are you doing?" she whispered to the young man. She noticed that he had a pet monkey with him. "Just play along," he replied. "You know this girl?" the seller asked him sadly. "Yes, she's my sister," he replied. "She's a little crazy. She thinks that the monkey is Sultan." Jasmine knelt down. "Oh, wise Sultan," she said to the monkey. "How may I serve you?" "Tragic, isn't it?" the young man said to Jasmine, pretending to be crazy. "Now come along, sis. Time to go see the doctor." They started to leave. It looked like they would escape until the monkey bowed goodbye and a bunch of stolen apples tumbled from his vest. "Come here back, you little thieves!" the fruit seller yelled. The trio ran quickly as they could finally reach the young man's rooftop home. They were safe for now. Jasmine looked around. The stranger's home was simple, but at least it was his own. No one told him what to do. Jasmine couldn't imagine having so much freedom. At the same time, the young man was looking longingly at the palace in the distance. It would be wonderful to live in there, he thought, to have enough money so he wouldn't have to worry about his next meal. "Sometimes I feel so trapped," they both said. Surprised, they looked at each other. Jasmine suddenly felt she had a lot in common with this handsome stranger. But yet then the angry palace guards burst in. Jasmine looked around. There was no way to escape. "Do you trust me?" the young man said, holding his hand to her. Then she looked into his brown eyes and said yes. Then jump! He cried. Jasmine took his hand and leaped over the roof. They landed safely on a pile of grain and raced through the marketplace, right into another set of guards. The head guard seized the young man. "It's dungeon for you, boy," he declared. "Unhand him," demanded Jasmine, pulling her down her hood and revealing herself as a princess. The guard was shocked to see her outside of the palace. "Do as I command," she ordered. "Release him." "I would, princess, except my orders come from Jafar," the guard replied. "You'll have to take it up with him." Jasmine crossed her arms and narrowed his eyes. "Believe me, I will," she said. Back at the palace, the princess comforted Jafar, one of father's advisors. The evil man told that the stranger had been sentenced to death and killed. "I'm exceedingly sorry, princess," Jafar lied. Jasmine glared at Jafar. "How could you?" she said and ran out. She went to see her tiger friend. "It's all my fault, Raja," she said, sobbing. "I didn't even know his name." The next day, on the streets of Agra, there was a magnificent parade. Men were playing drums, marched down the street, followed by women dancing with scarves. All of the townspeople stopped by where they were doing to watch inside the palace. The Sultan heard the music. He went to his balcony and was delighted by the whole what he saw down below. "Oh, Jafar," he called out, "you must come to see this." Reluctantly, Jafar joined Sultan. Trumpets blared and banners waved as the parade made its way to the palace. The most impressive was the Prince Ali, who sat atop of the enormous elephant, throwing gold coins to the crowd. He looked attractive, regal, and extremely smug. Princess Jasmine, who was still upset about the death of the young man from the market, watched from her balcony. She shook her head in disgust about the latest suitor. Did he think he could buy him hand in marriage? Nevertheless, the Sultan welcomed Prince Ali into his palace. "Your Majesty, I have journeyed from afar to seek your daughter's hand." The Prince Ali offered the flying magic carpet. "Prince Ali Ababwa," said the Sultan, "I'm delighted to meet you." But Jafar had his own sneaky plan. He wanted to marry the princess himself so that someday he would rule the kingdom. He whispered to the Sultan, "What makes him that he is worthy of the princess?" Confidently, Prince Ali replied, "Just let me meet her. I'll win your daughter." But Jasmine had been listening and was very upset. "How dare you, all of you, standing around deciding her future?" she cried. "I'm not a prize to be won." She turned and stormed off. But Prince Ali would not give up. That evening, he appeared on Jasmine's balcony and apologized. Raja growled protectively and was about to chase him away. But Jasmine thought that the prince looked familiar. When she stepped closer, he offered her to take on a magic carpet ride. "We could get out of the palace, see the world," Prince Ali offered. Jasmine hesitated. "Is it safe?" she asked, looking at the carpet. Prince Ali leaned forward, offering his hand. "Do you trust me?" he asked. Jasmine thought he might be the young man from the marketplace. Maybe he hadn't been killed after all. She gave him her hand and climbed aboard the magic carpet. Jasmine and the Prince Ali flew over the streets and the rooftops of Aqaba. They held hands and Jasmine felt happier than ever before. Jasmine got the prince to admit that he was the young man from the marketplace. But he didn't tell her everything because he didn't think that she would like him if she knew the truth. His real name was Aladdin. After escaping from the dungeon, he found a magic lamp. The genie inside had given him 3 wishes. Aladdin, who had fallen in love with Jasmine, had used one of them to become a prince she could marry him. I sometimes dress as a common escaper in the pressures of palace life. He lied, but I really am a prince. But why didn't you just tell me? Asked Jasmine. Well, a royalty going out in the city in disguise? It sounds a little strange, don't you think? He said. Jasmine looked down. Not that strange, she said quietly. Soon after they had returned from their romantic magic carpet ride, Jafar discovered the Prince Ali's secret and relieved his true identity. Then Jafar tried to seize power, but Aladdin and Jasmine fought bravely and won. Together they had saved the kingdom. After the battle, Aladdin took Jasmine's hands. I'm sorry I lied to you about being a prince, he said humbly. Jasmine held his hands. She hadn't fallen in love with him because he thought he was a prince. He loved him for what he was inside. The princess had finally found someone she wanted to marry. His father gladly changed the law and so she had able to. Aladdin and Jasmine climbed aboard to the magic carpet. Beneath them was a whole world where they could live happily together. The end. I hope you liked the story and please like and subscribe to our channel to watch new videos every day. Thank you. Bye-bye.